who is the surprise player of the Premier League season so far? We're all going to put forward a player. Sam, you're going to go first. Who are you going for?
Yeah, I'll go for Hee-chan of Wolves. Nice. He's playing really well. 10 goals in the Premier League.
He's done brilliantly well. Wolves as well as a whole side have done fantastic, haven't they?
Sorry, I know Hwang usually starts fast. I'm not surprised by the fact that he scored 5 goals in 3 games because he does tend to do that. But right around the 5-game mark of the season, he often just drops off massively. But he has continued to score. So I have to give him the credit there because you look back through the goal-scoring history, last time he was doing this, as in getting even close to double figures, was back at RB Salzburg in the Austrian Bundesliga. So I guess those goals were a bit easier to come by than Premier League goals. The fact that he's probably going to beat his best ever league tally in goals this season in the Premier League for Wolves, a mid-table side, rather than going and beating it for RB Salzburg, who just dominate every game in Austria, that is incredible. Fair play to him. I mean, he's overperforming his XG by a fair distance, 3.8, so maybe there's a bit of cooling off to come. But he's already in double figures. He's already on the best season of his life in a top league.
I think the thing you got to say about Wolves in this case is we always talk about, say, typically Manchester United not creating the best chances for players, and same with Chelsea. Wolves create so many chances for their centre forwards. Before we started recording, you mentioned Matheus Cunha, who's also having such an incredible season. That's because of how good Wolves are. In every game, they create chances, and when you've got guys who can put the ball in the back of the net.
That's a good thought exercise. How many goals would you have, James, at this stage of the season if Pedro Neto was beating 3 players and laying it on a plate for you?
I'd still be in the centre circle. I think that's the thing with Wolves. They play with such drive, and they've got players who can drive with the ball. And so, again, perfect for Hee-chan in terms of being someone who is an advanced forward, but is kind of there on the end of it, and he's taking his chances brilliantly. I think it's a good shout. In terms of it being a surprise, I think it's... with Hwang as well, I think people were kind of thinking he was finished. Dominic Solanke is my choice. Me and Nubaid have had a long-running dispute over Dominic Solanke. And Nubaid has not been willing to give him his flowers, but now you must, because my boy Dom is doing bits. He's scoring goals for Bournemouth. Has done for a good few seasons now. Did it in the Championship, and I think that's the thing for me. Often I say, as a fan of a Championship team, there are players that can drop in there, really find their feet, develop, and then take that step up. And he is now the main man. And he works so hard for this Bournemouth side. Newcastle United want him, and they've got good strikers in their midst. And there's been links with him possibly being a last-minute charge for the England squad as well with the Euros. 14 goals, 2 assists from an XG of 11.1. I think he's been superb, and I think you should apologise.
Can I just ask a question?
Go on.
If you said something 4 years ago, and now it's come true, is it true or is it just it just happened?
Depends what you said.
4 years ago,
I think we've been in this game long enough, Nubaid, that it is absolutely true. You just got to hang in there.
I love Solanke's trajectory, right? Youth prospect at Chelsea, 40 goals a season. Didn't have to do anything other than put the ball in the back of the net. Thrown into the Premier League, suddenly has to learn how to hold up play, fight off players, run the channels, link play. It's a whole different education for him. Goal scoring drops right off a cliff, but then he gets bigger, he gets stronger, he starts working hard, he gets better at linking play. Starting to put it all together now, finally. Development is not linear. Dominic Solanke has taken a little bit of time, but look at him now.
He's doing fantastically. Nubaid, who on earth could beat Dominic Solanke in this debate?
Firstly, I won't apologise for what James said 4 years ago about Solanke that I didn't agree with, but he has been great, and I absolutely love his TikTok edits. If you haven't watched them, go watch them. My guy is Cole Palmer. He's been unbelievable this season, especially because I think when Man City sold him to Chelsea for 40 million, everyone said, "Oh, Chelsea paid 40 million for this guy who's like just sort of known at that point." I think he had a good cup game at that point, but 26 appearances, 12 goals all comp, 7 assists. I mean, the return for a
pen merchant.
Hey, this guy.
Stat padding, are we?
I want to say, before we started recording, you mentioned the player's name. Would you mention?
I can't remember.
But neither can I.
It
wasn't Matheus Cunha. There was another player that you mentioned who's scored a lot of penalties. Oh, it was João Pedro. Okay. He scored 10 penalties all competition this season.
I didn't put him forward. I put Dominic.
Yeah, but you considered João Pedro. So,
he's got a couple of pens, I think.
I think Cole Palmer, genuinely, Chelsea have not been good this season. And Cole Palmer's been a standout player in every single time. The Man City game comes to my mind. We spoke here on the Football Forecast about that game and how whenever he wanted to take the game by the scruff of the neck, he would. So that's my guy.
He's not just stat padding though, is he? He's just really good.
Yeah.
Just really, really good.
That was a joke, Sam. That was a joke.
Okay. I think what I would say is that the overall feeling around Chelsea has been really depressing. So he has been the shining light in that, which I think allows it to be a bit more focused on him because of that, and it's such a big club. Whereas, you know, hardworking, great professionals like Dominic Solanke, I'm not saying Cole's not, but Solanke doesn't get that same spotlight when maybe he should. So 3 options there, or maybe you can think of another one. Let us know in the comments down below. Cole Palmer, Hwang Hee-chan, and Dominic Solanke. Correct answer is Dominic Solanke. Pop it in the comments right now.